Sit down and talk to them and ask them, when you were younger, what was the climate of society? Because maybe you don't know. Maybe you are not abreast of how it's not been that long ago when it was terrible here. It's a little bit better now, but it's still a lot of turmoil in the workings of spirits and principalities of evil amongst one another. So maybe you got a great aunt or a great uncle. You can sit down and talk to them. Ask them, when you were coming up, what was the climate of the world? What was going on? And you want to talk to the ones 65, 70, 80. And boy, you'd be blessed if you could talk to one that's 90 or 95. If you can talk to one that's 100, you are going to receive a history lesson that'll change your life. And some of us, a lot of us, need a life-changing experience. You see, if you know you came from, you might could figure out where you're going or where you need to go or where you should try to set your GPS so you can arrive. And I'm saying all this just to remind you of brotherly love. It ain't enough of brotherly love. Now, I understand some of us have been through circumstances where we have tried and we have assembled and we have allowed ourselves to be deceived and misused and mistreated by one another. So our guards are up. Our guards are up like a hockey goalie. We got our hockey sticks up and we ain't trying to let you get beyond the goal line into the net. Because we have been abused and misused by everybody, even one another. Yeah. We've been abused and misused by everybody, even one another. So nowadays, when we have all the tools we can use, we have everything necessary we need. But one thing we lack that we don't have is brotherly love. We don't have brotherly love. We have, I don't like that nigga. We have, I hate that nigga. We have, fuck that old bitch ass nigga. That's what we have. When you listen to the rap songs of today, all the lyrics are talking about the majority. I'm not going to be ignorant and use a statement like all, but I'll say a huge percentage, the majority, every song, almost every song, so I can be accurate, it's talking about sliding on the ops, talking about causing bodily harm on the ops. Who the ops? We ever wondered who the ops? I'm going to tell you who the ops is. Look in the mirror. You the ops. I'm looking at the op right now on my camera screen. The op look just like me. I'ma bust him up. I'ma pop his top. I'ma fill him with holes. I'ma drop him. I'ma toe tag him. I'ma body him. Cause he a op. But again, guess who the op is? The op is another brother. The op is another brother the same color as me. You know what I'm talking about? How can I be your op? My brother. How can you passionately, how can you desire and passionately want to murder your own brother? I have a clue and I have an idea, but you too need to get a clue and an idea, because once you go back, then you can go forward. See, you going forward and you don't have your history. You don't have an understanding. That's what the old folks say, an understanding. You don't have an understanding. You don't have a discernment. You don't have concern. You don't have compassion. You are numb. You are empty. You are walking around with mindless behavior. And we don't need that. That ain't what we need. You see this here shirt? This here shirt? This here shirt should have never have been made in the 21st century. This here shirt should have never been an idea or a concept to be constructed in the 21st century. But if you are fortunate to have a beautiful grandmother, 75, 80, 90, 95. If you are fortunate to have a strong grandfather who is still here, 75, 80, 90, soon you need to go sit your ass down. You need to bring them popcorn bald head motherfucking kids and sit at that goddamn dinner table with some sweet tea and something healthy to eat. And y'all need to ask grandpa and grandma some motherfucking questions. Because if you motherfuckers knew where you came from, why in the fuck would you be in a hurry to be jumping in these motherfucking jail cells and jumping in these goddamn graveyards? All the sacrifice our people have endured and been through, this is how we gonna repay them? By being unbrotherly? By hating one another? By murdering one another? Talking about a motherfucking op? You dumb son of a bitch, that ain't no motherfucking op. You've been hoodwinked. There's a veil over your fucking eyes. And you need some goddamn history lessons, knowledge, and wisdom. And you will see that motherfucker that you hate so well, that you are so passionate about harming, causing bodily harm, you will see that motherfucker that you are so passionately about, that you want to cause bodily harm to that individual, you will see he going through the same conditions you going through. You're like motherfucking roaches being fumigated. The Arkin man is spraying poison and fumigation over your motherfucking head. And instead of you coming together, trying to figure out where the gas masses are at, where the escape routes are at, you some more bitches is at each other's motherfucking throat. You some of bitches is finding any reason to collide with each other. When the bigger plot, the bigger part, and the bigger plan is motherfucker, you are being fumigated. Ignorant summer more bitch, you are being exterminated. But you will get on this goddamn platform and this platform or that platform and look at me and say, I don't like him. Motherfucker, I will feed you before I fuck over you. Motherfucker, I will help you before I hurt you. Motherfucker, I understand what you've been through and what you going through. Motherfucker, I will help construct you before I destruct you. I will help build you up before I destroy you. So when you sit down at that table and you ask grandma or grandpa, what did you endure 50, 60 years ago, 70 years ago? It'll break your motherfucking heart, mind, spirit, and soul. You take them 13, 14, 15-year-old niggas on up to 25 back. You take them back into history and you sit down and you talk to them older folks and you ask them the horrible conditions they had to endure so we can be out here driving Cadillac, wearing diamonds, independent entrepreneurs, businessmen, 10 bank accounts, 7, 8, 9 motherfucking incomes, property, real estate, money, international relationships, trade and export, import and export. But you got nerve to look at each other talking about I'ma slide on them, toe tag them, body him, pop his top, cause he a op. But if I ask you to point him out and show me a picture of the op, 98% of the motherfucking time, the op is your goddamn brother. A nigga who may be kin to you. But you ain't been in no motherfucking family reunions lately. You ain't been on no motherfucking ancestry trying to find out who the fuck you are. You ain't sat down and asked them old folks any history about the family. You ain't talked to the older uncles, the older aunties, the great grandfathers, the great grandmothers, if they still here, the great uncles, the great aunties. We ain't talked to them people. We see old people barely can walk going inside of the store, and you bump into them and go about your motherfucking business to go get your sugary ass foods and your high sodium ass foods, and you don't even stop to see if that person all right and ask them how they doing and how's their day and how was it back in the day. Do you ever just stop and sit down and talk to Forrest Gump? You motherfuckers ain't got time. Your motherfuckers mind on the wrong shit. A goddamn belt. Kanye West motherfucking haircut. Fuck that nigga haircut. Shit look like the nigga got the mains. But that nigga worth billions of dollars. I don't give a fuck if that nigga cut a mohawk in his motherfucking head. I give a fuck about my sons, my brothers, my homeboys, my partners, my loved ones, my inner motherfucking circle. I'm resourceful for my inner motherfucking circle. Then I go outside and I help other motherfuckers, strangers and shit like that. When I see my brothers, the first thing I do, I have a feeling of endearment. I have a feeling of compassion. I have a feeling of love. I'm not going to let this funky ass, bitch ass world change that in me. I'm not going to let no funky ass, bitch ass, pussy ass nigga change that in me. Because guess what I discovered? Nigga, I'm strong enough to be me. See, when I was a kid, I wasn't strong enough to be me. Niggas beat me out my slop. Niggas beat me out my slop. Niggas made me feel like I was weak. Because I wasn't doing dumb shit like them or being ignorant. They made me think something was wrong with me because I love them and I love myself and I love my people. They made me think something was wrong with me. But when I removed myself and I connected with God and I connected with myself, guess what, some old bitch? Guess what, some old bitch? Love is strong. Love is stronger than the motherfucker. And I'm strong enough to tell you I love you. I'm strong enough to help you. I'm strong enough to give to you. I'm strong enough to want you to have just as much as I have, and I don't care no fucks about it. Don't let a motherfucker trick you into thinking love is weak. You stand firm and you be strong enough to be who you are. But I'm going to wrap this up because I got gyms to do. I got banks to go to. I got business to handle. GMB. And I do good business. But I'm going to leave you with this. The reason why you need to talk to these older people, because the history lesson that they going to teach you is going to slap you in your motherfucking face and wake your bitch ass up. And then you going to realize, oh, damn, that nigga ain't the op. That nigga is being fumigated and exterminated just like me. Let me remove my passion and replace it with compassion for my brother. Let me add brotherly love. Now, sometimes you may have to love a motherfucker from a distance. You may have to love a motherfucker from a distance. You may have to remove yourself to love a motherfucker and be resourceful for a motherfucker and help a motherfucker. You may have to back the fuck up to bring forth the help and the love and the resources. See, sometimes ignorance wants you to come be with them Ignorance wants you down in the pit with them. Then guess what? Now both of you motherfuckers need a rescue. If both you motherfuckers in the pit, now both you motherfuckers hollering SOS. We need help. Get your bitch ass up out the pit and throw a nigga a lifeline. Get your bitch ass up out the pit and throw a nigga a lifeline. My hood, my block, my building, my ghetto. You a motherfucking lie. You ain't no goddamn landlord. You ain't getting no motherfucking monthly checks from that goddamn property. You need to get your funky ass off that land and go get you some money so you can buy you some land and then say my hood, my block, my property. You niggas got the game fucked up. But go talk to them old people and you're going to realize not so long ago and still to this day, our motherfucking presence was so feared, was so hated, that we were destroyed on sight. They didn't have to know you were a carpenter, you were a plumber, you were an electrician, you were a welder. They didn't have to know your skill. They didn't have to know your intellect level. They didn't have to know your spirituality or your heart or how many kids you had or if you had a wife or not. They didn't have to know anything about you. All they knew was you was a black motherfucker and I hate you. That's pure prejudice. That is pure evil and hate. It's still here today. Look at the goddamn shirt. Why the fuck in the 21st century I have to make a shirt like this? We will breathe. But I'm the op. The nigga next door the op. The nigga down the street the op. The nigga on Facebook the op. You niggas better get your motherfucking mind right. Nigga, 30, 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago, nigga, our people were getting beat the fuck down, nigga, just for existing. Just for showing up. Little kids, men, women, grandmothers, grandfathers were getting demolished just for showing up. Can you imagine walking out of your house today and just going to the gas station to get some fuel and you get mobbed by a group of people and they beat your motherfucking ass down just because you showed up? Or let's say you move to a new neighborhood because you're making a little bit more money. In the first day you get there, a mob of motherfucking people are there to run you, your wife, and your children the fuck away from around there. Just because you showed up. Accusations. Guilty before any kind of research. Guilty before any kind of understanding. You guilty because you just showed up. I think you motherfuckers might need to do A little history lesson on who you op, who oppressed your motherfucking ass, who bust your motherfucking ass for showing up. I'm not your motherfucking op. Don't look at me. Look at me. Don't look at me. But I'm going to the motherfucking gym. I ain't got time. I ain't got time. But god damn it, boy, something in my heart just telling me, man, make this motherfucking video. Cause niggas got the game fucking confused. I'm tired of hearing the goddamn music. I'm finna pop his top. I'm finna spin the block. What block you spinning, nigga? You spinning that same poor ass motherfucking block with your people and that nigga people in the same fucking conditions. God bless you, man. Hey, man, I got shit to do. I'm holler at y'all, man.